Hello, how are you doing? My name is Otto and welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about the new Insta360 ONE RS 1-inch 360 edition. Please stop doing this. These longer names are way too confusing for everyone. Anyway, I had the Insta360 ONE X2 for a long time and I have to admit that it is a fun camera to use. Maybe not for everyone, but 360 cameras will give you different angles and new perspectives. So when I heard about this new version with a way bigger sensor, I was actually excited about it and I wanted to buy it to make some cool videos with it. But then when I started to learn more about the camera, there were a few things that made me realize that this is not what I was expecting. And being completely honest, I wasn't expecting this to have an $800 price tag. I mean, you can still get the Insta360 ONE X2 for around $400. That's half the price for a camera that can also do 360 videos. And the major downside is that it has a smaller sensor, but believe it or not, it is still quite competitive or even better than the 1-inch 360 version in some ways. But yeah, $800 is not a small amount of money. And just so you have a better idea, with this amount of money, you could buy a camera like the Sony CV-E10, the new iPhone 13, or you can buy a camera like the DJI Pocket 2, which is $350, and even add to the pack the DJI Mini 2, which is $450. None of these cameras can do 360 videos, but in most cases, I feel that a 360 camera is not something that you would use as a main camera. Compared to the Insta360 ONE X2, the new 1-inch version has a bigger sensor, a bigger screen, and I have to admit that I love how it looks like. The bigger sensor will be better for shooting in low light situations. This has already been tested and the difference is clear, but there is always the fear of scratching the lenses, which are not replaceable. I would also say that the electronic stabilization on both cameras is quite similar, and it is something that I like a lot on these Insta360 cameras. The new 1-inch version is now heavier at 240 grams, while the Insta360 ONE X2 is just 149 grams. It doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, you're going to feel it after a few minutes, especially if you're using the invisible stick. I am also not impressed by the battery life on the new camera. It will run for about 60 minutes, and with the Insta360 ONE X2, the battery would run for 80 minutes. But the bad news is not just about the battery life. Shooting at maximum resolution, the 1-inch version is going to overheat at around 45 minutes. Talking about resolution, the Insta360 RS 1-inch 360 version has a maximum resolution of 6K, but we need to talk about this because there are two things that you need to know. So the first thing is that you cannot shoot at 6K at 60 frames per second. And I'm just realizing that you can't shoot at 60 frames per second at 4K either. So this means that at 6K or 4K, you can only shoot at 24 or 30 frames per second. I'm guessing that this is to avoid overheating, but well, even the Insta360 ONE X2 has 4K at 50 frames per second. The other thing that you need to know is that you're not getting 6K videos. I mean, you're shooting at 6K, but that 6K is for the whole 360 video. So when you export the view or the part that you want, you're not gonna have a 6K video anymore. But with that aside, one of the things that I do like about these Insta360 cameras is that when you're making a video, you don't really need to worry too much about where you're pointing your camera, like you would do with a conventional camera, because as I said before, 360 cameras are going to be capturing everything around you. But this also means that your videos are not going to be ready until you edit them either on your smartphone or your computer, and you need to play around with keyframes and point of views and so on. And I'm going to be honest, this is not for everyone. It takes some time to learn how to use their programs. and they're not impossible to use, but it takes practice and time to edit 360 videos. I like to edit videos, but when it comes to the 360 ones, I feel that it's one more step on my workflow, and I don't know, maybe I'm getting lazy lately. There is a video tutorial on my channel that covers basic editing for those kind of videos, so if you want to take a look, it will give you a better idea if this is something that you want to deal with or not. Something that I forgot to mention is that the new camera is only water resistant. It only has an IPX3 rating, and that means that you can use it maybe with light rain. So this feels like a step back since it's not waterproof like the Insta360 ONE X2, which can resist being down in the water up to 10 meters. I think that this covers my main reasons to not buy this new Insta360 camera. But if you're looking for a 360 camera with high image quality, especially on low light situations, and you don't mind about the price, I think that you should consider this camera if you don't mind about the other limitations that I mentioned on this video. If you just want a 360 camera but you don't want to spend a lot of money, hey, the Insta360 ONE X2 is a great purchase for half the price. It's waterproof, it's lighter, smaller. You get the idea. The links to the products are going to be down below just in case, and the comment section is open if you want to share your opinion. Just be respectful. That's it. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.